want this one now?
There's some water there. Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us at St George's Park for this press conference with Ella, which will preview the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. Anton, we shall begin with you.
Thanks, Beth. Hey, nice to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How was it sort of being on the sidelines for so long and probably itching to get back into the fold?
Oh yeah, it's been a long time. I think I've drove my family up the wall with not being able to play for such a long time, and I think when you're a footballer and you have that taken away from you, it's really difficult. And for me to miss out on 2 camps as well with big games, a lot of games for Man United, it was tough. But I knew I had to, keep working hard, get myself in the best place possible, ready to be up for selection for this camp. And yeah, I'm buzzing to be back.
How complicated was the injury? And I suppose a lot of players would have just shut down the season. How much was this kind of a motivator factor to go back for?
Yeah, it was quite a weird one. It was a stress fracture in the hip. So, yeah, not many people do that kind of injury. Shock I did it. I think it was just from overuse. And luckily we caught it earlier before it became a break and a little bit more complicated. But yeah, I had to shut right down. Weren't really allowed to walk much. Could only swim with a float between my legs for about 2 months. So yeah, it was difficult, but I always had the focus of being back on this camp, finishing the season with United. I was hoping to be back for the last camp, but you have little setbacks when you're coming back from such a big injury. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that I had a few games before the season finished, and that was always the thing going through my mind, to make sure I get fit and get back on the pitch and help England and United in the last games.
How ready are you, considering this isn't just any game to get ready for? You come up against the world champs.
Yeah, I mean, Spain's always a massive game for us. There's a lot of competition there. We've played them a lot of times. It's always a tough game. But yeah, like I said, I knew I had to be 100% ready. I used the time wisely to get back fit, physically in a better place and mentally in a good place too. And I feel like I've done that. I've enjoyed the last couple of games with United, being back out there with the girls. And yeah, I knew that I had to be really well prepared coming into this camp, and obviously playing against Spain, which is a big game.
Obviously, there's no Leah this time around. She's out injured. But obviously, England beat Spain without her last time. How much of a boost is that for the defenders, especially, going into this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when players get injured and miss out on camps, and especially your captain, a player that you obviously want in the squad with you when you're playing in these games. But you got to focus on the players that are in the squad and how well they've done throughout the season, how well they've done when we've come up against Spain previously, and how well they've done in the previous England matches that they've won. So yeah, like I say, we've got a very good team, a team that's really focused on getting the job done, and one that's really excited to get out there.
Finally, I suppose you obviously talked about how difficult the last 6 months have been. What would it mean then to be part of an England team that could potentially qualify for a World Cup ahead of the world champions?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be amazing. Like I say, yeah, it's been a tough 6 months for me personally. I've just wanted to get back out there, get back on the pitch and do what I love doing. And obviously for us coming into this camp, we know that we've got to beat Spain or draw to Spain to qualify for the World Cup, and that's the main focus. So we've got to use this time wisely, get prepared as best we can, make sure we make use of these training sessions and, give absolutely everything when we step out onto the pitch like we always do. Thank you.
Hey Toone, nice to see you. You say there about your injury sort of being a little bit of overuse. We know there's obviously external factors like the schedule, but what can you do as a player? And I'd imagine you might be learning a little bit more on how you adapt to that now that you've become such a regular England international.
Yeah, I think I've learned that I'm not 18 anymore, and that my body's been through a lot. It's played a lot of games. We've had tournaments, every other summer. Loads of games this season for Manchester United for the first time, being in the Champions League. And yeah, I don't think we've ever played that many games in a season before. So I've definitely learned this time around that I have to look after my body much better than I have been doing over the previous years. Still thinking I'm that young spring chicken, but I know that recovery is massive now. I've got to make sure that I use my time wisely on my rest days to make sure that I'm getting myself prepared to give 100% when I do get out onto the pitch. But yeah, I've been doing so much on the recovery side of things, getting in ice baths, stretching, getting massages. I'm not a player who likes to be in the physio room a lot, and the physios don't like that. But that's what you've got to do. I want to prolong my career as much as I can, and I think there was a massive lesson in this injury, and that was to make sure that I look after myself.
Yeah, and I can imagine it is frustrating when you are out for a period of time. But Serena sort of joked to me when I spoke to her last week that you reminded her that you're a number 10 and you do still play football. Were you at any point, seriously though, like a little bit worried that because you were out for that period, obviously it is so competitive and people are playing in your position?
Yeah, of course. You're never guaranteed to get selected for England, no matter what your journey's been in an England shirt. And every time the squad's announced, you still worry that you might not make it. And especially for me, missing the past 2 camps, I knew that I had to make myself, available for this selection. I had to make sure that I performed when I was on the pitch, to show that I am capable of coming back into the setup and giving my everything for the team. But yeah, I came to last camp to see Alessia and the girls, and I reminded Serena that I'm a number 10 and I'll be ready for next camp. And yeah, she's picked me, which is nice. And yeah, I want to be here and give everything I can to help the girls win.
Just finally from me, I know you've spoken before about how you feel you play better when you're just enjoying your football and not worrying too much about the pressures and the stress. Have you had to remind yourself of that recently? Because like you say, you feel like you've got to almost prove yourself again.
Yeah, of course. I think when you've been out for so long, you probably start putting that pressure on yourself to make sure that you score and make sure that you get an assist and things like that, and show that you're back. But for me, I use that time wisely, physically, but also mentally as well. Making sure that my mindset was in a strong place coming back, not putting too much pressure on myself, understanding that I do play my best football when there's no pressure and I'm enjoying myself. And yeah, that's what I've tried to do. I know I've been out for a long time, so it was more about just being back out there with the girls and enjoying it, because like I said, when you're a footballer and the main thing gets taken away from you, it is difficult. But I made sure that I used the time wisely, and yeah, I feel like I'm in a really good place. Thank you.
Ready, Kit?
Hi, Ella. Nice to see you. Can you give us a sense of what it's like to go up against a Spain midfield? Because from the outside, it seems quite a challenge, but you've experienced it. So, yeah, what's it like?
Yeah, I've experienced it quite a few times now, and it's difficult. Spain love to be in possession of the ball, and sometimes that's quite frustrating. As players, we want to have as much of the ball as we can, but sometimes you've got to be patient. They're obviously very technical. They want to be on the ball. They want to make things happen. They're constantly moving. So you've just got to stay concentrated throughout the game. But I also think that they don't like coming up against an England midfield either. And we know what we're good at. And we also want to play football. We also want to be on the ball. And we also work hard every time we step out onto the pitch. So I think it's a really good battle all over the pitch, and especially in that midfield.
Yeah, and given the team's recent success against Spain, how much confidence do you have going over there for what looks like a daunting challenge?
Yeah, loads of confidence. I think we've got to be confident in the team that we have here. There's a lot of talent, a lot of experienced players, a lot of new talent coming through. And yeah, we always have that, belief in each other and within the team that will step out in front of anyone, any team, and put on a big performance. Obviously, it being away in Spain, we've got a lot of our fans coming over to support us. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting game and one that we're definitely ready for.
Feels like it's been maybe a bit of an up and down season for Man United, with the great results in the Champions League, maybe less so in the league. How do you reflect on the season for your club?
Yeah, I think we had a very good run in the Champions League for our first time being in it as well. We come up against some massive teams and had some big wins in that, and we should be really proud of how far we went in that competition. But then on the other side, for us as a team, we want to be winning trophies. We want to be competing for the league, and I feel like there was parts of this season where we dropped points that we probably shouldn't have. So yeah, I think there's a lot to work on, a lot that we can take from this season that's positive, but also a lot of things that we know we can be better for next season. But yeah, it's been a long season, and we should be really proud of ourselves.
As a player who's played in some of the biggest games in the world, who got a taste of Champions League football this year, will it be tough next season not to have that Champions League football?
Yeah, of course. When you've done so well in that competition and now you've not got it, it's a bit disappointing, especially as a club and the players as well. When you've had that taste of playing in a Champions League, you want it again and again. So, yeah, I think it's going to be quite difficult next season, not having that to also look forward to. But we know that we have to put 100% into the league and making sure that we finish in a place where we know we're going to get Champions League again the season after. So, yeah, you look at City this year and obviously they were probably disappointed that they didn't have Champions League, but they've used it in a positive way and gone and won the league and the FA Cup. So, yeah, we've got to look at it like that and, take each game as it comes.
And just finally from me, we know your contract's up in 12 months' time. Have you had any thoughts about your long-term future? Do you still see Man United as the club for you beyond this time next year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a position now where I've got a year left. There's obviously, it's now time to talk. And I just know that I've got to make a decision what's best for me. So, yeah, I think for me right now, I'm at England camp. I'm focused on the 2 games that we've got coming up, big games, Spain, Ukraine. And then also, I've got a summer off. I'm going to get married. I'm going to go on a hen do. And, yeah, I'm going to enjoy these things. And then I'm going to get my head screwed on, work hard in pre-season and go from there. But, yeah, right now I'm a Manchester United player.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers. Hi, Ella. We spoke a bit about kind of you coming back from injury, having that competition for places in midfield. I wonder, how did you kind of see the midfield when you weren't there, like kind of watching it from the outside? What did you think about the players that kind of came in and what they brought to the group, I guess?
I think in midfield, the exciting thing is that no player's the same. I think we've got such talented midfielders in the England setup, and people can bring loads of different things to the game. So, yeah, it was obviously a hard watch. I wanted to be a part of it, but the girls who stepped up and played in the games were amazing, and we got the results that we wanted. And like I said, you've got loads of different people that you can play in that number 10 position. So it's competitive, and that's what you want as a player. You want to compete against the best players in your position, and then that gets the best out of you. So, yeah, no matter who plays in the England midfield, I know that they'll give absolutely everything to make sure that we win the game.
Yeah, it feels like sort of like that core of yourself and like Kira and Georgia that we've become so used to seeing in England's midfield. Do you guys feel like there's more competition there now than perhaps there was?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of competition. You've got the likes of Jess Park, who's had an unbelievable season and played for Manchester United as an inverted winger, but we know she can play in the 10. You've got Blinks, you got Lucia Kendall, like all of these players that are coming up and competing with us in midfield. And like I said, no matter who pulls on the shirt and who steps out onto the pitch, you want the best for that player. You want England to get the result. And I know that watching the past 2 camps and the past games, I just wanted England to get the wins. And whoever played in the midfield, I knew that they was going to do the job. So yeah, it's exciting competition. It really gets the best out of you.
Thank you.
Hey Ella, just from me, I just wanted to ask, also we've had a bit of movement within the squad. We had a few players called out for the last camp for the first time, and then a few players who've dropped out due to injury this time. How's that movement affected within camp? Are the vibes still high? Like, does it mix up the energy a little bit?
Yeah, obviously I haven't been here for the past 2, but I'm guessing the vibes were good. No matter who comes to camp, there's always good vibes. Every player wants to play for England. Every player is grateful to have the opportunity to be on camp, and yeah, you bring your best self when you're here. So yeah, even though there's movements, you still come to camp and want to give absolutely everything, no matter who's here and who's not. So yeah, the vibes right now are good.
There's been quite a few players drop out quite recently from this camp. Do you think that's anything to do with scheduling? Also, there's been a lot of big games with the World Sevens, FA Cup final. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
Well, I mean, this season's been a long one. A lot of people have picked up injuries and niggles, and me being one. So I can imagine that a lot of the injuries are probably down to the scheduling, and we've had a lot of, games coming thick and fast, and also we're at the back end of the season now, so mentally people are more tired, physically they're more tired too, but we've just got to focus on the players who are in camp, and we know we've got a really good squad, and yeah, like I say, we've got to focus on the 2 games at hand.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Go back across to Tara.
Thank you. Hey, Ella. Obviously, we know how quickly time flies by in football, and it's just over a year now until the World Cup. I was just wondering, personally, how much is that kind of starting to creep into your everyday thinking?
Yeah, I always think about it now. I think this season finished and I thought, wow, that's another season down. I'm still only 26 and I just feel like, it's going so fast. And the World Cup's around the corner, and I know that this year will go really fast as well, but as a player you've got to make sure that you're in the now, you're focused on what's happening now, not thinking too far ahead, and especially for me, making sure that I'm consistent and I'm available on the pitch, keeping myself fit and making sure that I'm in the best place possible to be up for selection for the World Cup, and yeah, just enjoying it because football definitely goes fast.
And obviously the boys have just landed in the States. Do you have any advice, given your kind of extensive major tournament experience, to them, some of the ones who are there for their first major tournament?
Yeah, I mean, we're all really excited. Who doesn't love watching England at a World Cup? But yeah, for me, just go out there and enjoy it, give absolutely everything, make the nation proud, and yeah, hopefully we can go all the way.
Tom?
Hi, Ella. Nice to see you. Just going back to the Spain game and what you said to Anton, I'm wondering how you approach it as a team, knowing that a draw would be enough. Like, how dangerous is it to go into a game maybe thinking about a draw, and what will your mindset be in that regard?
Yeah, I don't think you can ever go into a game thinking, oh, we'll just go for the draw. We're players who want to win games of football, and yeah, no matter what situation is, you want to go out there and win. There's obviously, that part of getting a draw is good enough. So if we're coming to the last minutes of the game, it's maybe how we see out the game and make sure that we qualify, because that's the main thing. But yeah, as players and as a team, you want to go into every game wanting to get the win. Yeah,
they're obviously world champs, you're European champs. Is it fair to call these two the best 2 teams in the world right now?
Right now, maybe, yeah. But I think there's a lot of teams that can compete against England and Spain. There's a lot of talent all over the world now, and teams are getting stronger and better every year. And I know that a lot of teams like to play against England, and yeah, to beat us, we have that target on our backs, and so does Spain. Everyone wants to come and beat us and rain on our parade, but we've just got to focus on ourselves, have that confidence within the group, keep working hard, and make sure we give everything when we step out.
And coming up later, we're chatting to Alessia Russo. I wondered if I could ask you a bit about her season and just how much you've been impressed with the form she's been in this campaign. Yeah, she's been unbelievable. I think she's one of the best 9s in the world, and I'm not saying that because she's my best mate, but I genuinely do. I think she's playing consistently well. Every week she brings something. She's a complete finisher. She can hold the ball up. She's good on the ball. She runs and works hard off the ball, and she's someone that you want to play alongside and have in your team. So yeah, I'm buzzing for her. She's had a great campaign this season, and yeah, she's only going to get bigger and better. And forgive me if I finish with some very serious journalism. Whose idea was it to get Marc Skinner dressed as Bad Bunny? Well, actually, nothing to do with me, because I was actually doing an interview outside, and when I went into the room, he was dressed up as Bad Bunny, so I don't know who decided it, but yeah, it was good. It was a good laugh. And how do you reflect on those 3 days in Brentford in general? What was it like as a player? Yeah, it was fun. I think after such a long season, you want to just have fun with your teammates. You've been through a lot together. You've been through ups and downs, and it really brings you together just to play football, play 7-a-side with your mates in the sun. Which is always nice. So yeah, after a long season, it was definitely something that, brought the team together again. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Are there any final questions or? Yeah, go on, Anton.
Ella, yesterday's training session was probably, from the outside, looked like any other training session, but for you, was it quite special considering there were 40 plus mini-me's from your part of the world out there watching?
Yeah, my academy had the chance to come down. There was 40 of the girls from ET7 Academy came down, did a session and watched the training session, and yeah, it was special. It was nice to be able to give them that opportunity, to see them, the faces light up when they got to meet the players, and not just me. I think they're bored of me now, even though I still sign something every time I see them. But yeah, that just shows, the impact that the Lionesses have on young girls now playing football, and it's always nice for me to be able to give an opportunity and give back to those young girls starting out in their journey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, not a.